Rama, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he knows everything, and therefore he knows what has happened to Sita, and he also knows that this is all part of the plan, so that he will go to kill Ravana. But Ali, Rama has appeared specifically as a human being, because it's a human being who will be able to destroy Ravana and no other. And as a human being, he feels the emotions of human beings. He displays sometimes the weaknesses of human beings, especially with respect to emotions. When Sita is clearly no longer there in the ashram, no longer anywhere to be found, Rama becomes practically mad. So I want to read a little bit of the description of Rama in his madness. After some time of searching through the forest for Sita, addressing the different trees, asking the trees if they know where is Sita. After some time he becomes even more disturbed, and he begins to speak as if Sita is present. This is a symptom of madness when we talk to someone who is not present. Generally it's a symptom of madness. So he says, "My dear Sita, being very fond of flowers, you are hiding your body behind the boughs of an ashok tree, thus increasing my grief. O lady, I can see your two thighs, which resemble the trunks of banana trees, hidden behind a banana tree. You cannot hide them from me. As a prank, as a joke, you have gone into a grove of kanikara trees. O gentle lady, stop this joking, which is causing me distress. Why are you playing this game, which is wearing me out? This game is not very nice at all. Neither is it proper to play such jokes in a hermitage. I understand that your nature is playful. Come back, O broad-eyed one, this cottage of yours is vacant." So like this, he is speaking in a distracted way. Well, after some time, when Sita is not answering, he starts to lament about himself, his own misdeeds as the source for his misfortunes. So he says, "I think there is no one else on the face of the earth who has committed sinful deeds as I have. Thus, sorrow after sorrow is successively breaking my heart and afflicting my mind. I certainly must have carefully planned and perpetrated sinful deeds in previous lives. The reaction of those has now arrived. I am going from one misery to another. O Lakshmana, when I ponder the loss of my kingdom, the separation from my relatives, the demise of my father, the death of my father, and the separation from my mother, the intensity of my anguish increases. All this misery of mine compounded physical discomfort from living in the forest vanished due to the company of Sita. Due to separation from Sita, it has all come back again. As a fire flares up suddenly when fuel is thrown on embers. Rama is very, very distraught in separation from Sita. Well, after some time, when he comes to understand that Sita has in fact been abducted by Ravana, he gets angry. He gets very angry. And his anger is so great that his initial reaction is to simply destroy the whole world. He takes one arrow, he puts it in his bow, and he says, okay, that's it. The world is now finished. Lakshman has to do some very quick talking to cool him down. But in his anger, he addresses various entities. So he addresses one mountain. I will burn you to ashes with my flaming arrows. Deprived of grass, trees, and twigs, your entire surface will be rendered uninhabitable. O Lakshmana, I shall also immediately dry up this Godavari river. By this time they've come that far south. Godavari river is in the south of India. If it does not tell me about the noble Sita, whose face is as effulgent as the full moon. Thus enraged, Rama was ready to consume the river with his eyes. Then he noticed a Rakshasa's huge footprint pressed into the ground. So this is before understanding exactly what has happened. He also saw the footprints of the terrified Sita, who had run here and there to reach Rama while she was being pursued by the Rakshasa. With his heart perplexed by seeing the footprints of Sita and of the Rakshasa, as well as a broken bow and quiver and a shattered chariot, he said to his dear brother, Lakshmana, see these golden particles broken from Sita's ornaments, and these many flowers from her garment. Also, notice the drops of blood resembling molten metal scattered all over the surface of the ground. I think Sita must have been torn into pieces and eaten by Rakshasas, who can assume any form at will, and here fiercely contending Rakshasas did battle for the sake of Sita. So Rama gets more and more and more and more angry. He says, when my anger flares up against the three worlds, there will no longer be any gods, demons, goblins, or Rakshasas. Torn to pieces by the flood of my arrows, the worlds of the gods, demons, and yakshas, as well as of the Rakshasas, will cease to exist. If the controlling gods do not return Sita to me, regardless of whether she has been abducted or is dead, I shall this very day with my arrows dissolve